Breaking news coming in, and this is a Headlines Today exclusive. Our channel has accessed a video of Pakistani terrorists infiltrating into India in Samba sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Headlines Today is an exclusive possession of this video where an infiltration bid has been caught on camera. The images have been exclusively accessed by our correspondent Kamaljit Sandhu. The visuals that you see on your screens are thermal images of terrorists from Pakistan trying to cross the international border. These visuals are from Samba sector of Jammu and Kashmir, which has been witnessing heavy firing from Pakistani rangers. While Pakistan has blamed India for escalating tensions along the international border and blamed BSF jawans for provocating Pak rangers, this is evidence they will not be able to refute.
Unprovoked firing followed by infiltration bid. Pakistan lies completely exposed by the pictures accessed by Headlines Today. It is only the BSF at the borders and the army at the line of control which are preventing Pakistan at foiling peace process in Jammu and Kashmir. With camera person Alok Das, this is Kamaljit Sandhu in Delhi for Headlines Today.
And Kamaljit is with us on the phone line from the national capital. Kamaljit, this exclusive video accessed by Headlines Today, you managed to get your hands on this video. This shows that Pakistani terrorists were trying to infiltrate into India, and as was being suggested earlier, where security agencies said that Pak Rangers are providing cover fire to infiltrators, this has been proved once again.
Well, definitely, Simi, Pakistan lies completely exposed, especially through this video. But remember, this infiltration bid has been going on for the past 2 months, and particularly after New Year again, we've seen, even though there was a heavy mobilization of troops along the Samba border, Pakistan, even though they were firing, their own defense minister pointing fingers at India, saying India doesn't want peace. But how is Pakistan expected to refute these particular images, which obviously show Pakistani rangers trying to give cover fire to these particular militants? So this is obviously a lot of pressure on the international border. There's a lot of heating up, and this we do anticipate will escalate in the next few days. It's only because President Obama is expected to be here, and he will be the main chief guest on the 26th of January, which is the Republic Day. So right now what we know is in the past few months, Pakistan has put pressure on the international border with unprovoked firing and mortar shells.
Well, Kamaljit, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Uday Bhaskar. He's the Director for Center of Policy Studies. Thanks so much for speaking to Headlines Today, Mr. Uday Bhaskar. Your first reaction, it seems that we managed to get irrefutable proof of Pak infiltrators trying to enter Indian territory, and as was being alleged earlier, Pak Rangers clearly providing cover fire to these people in Samba.
The fact that we have now been able to get visual evidence of the infiltration bid should be placed in context, which is that over the last few days, ever since there has been this exchange of fire across the IB between the Pakistani Rangers and the Indian Border Security Force, in the diplomatic domain, Pakistan has been trying to make a case that it is India which has provoked the firing, and they have been talking about a flag meeting. I think India should carefully use this kind of evidence to buttress its own position that there is a deliberate attempt from the other side to stoke this kind of infiltration. And this in itself is not new. India has been dealing with infiltration bids for 2 decades plus. But I think in the current context, when we have the impending visit of the US President and various other developments in India, this kind of evidence should be carefully stored and used in a calibrated manner, because while there is a reality on the ground, the tactical situation where there is a fairly heavy exchange of ordnance, and this is also impacting the civilian population in the area, India also needs to, I think, quote-unquote, win the story, as it were, in the regional and the global perception. And this is where I think such evidence would be very valuable, because we must also see this in the context of the most recent attempt at sea, where the Indian Coast Guard had carried out an operation and foiled what seemed like a very, very suspicious boat.
Absolutely. So and Uday Bhaskar, how do you suggest India can best use this visual evidence to its advantage?
Well, I think the government of India would be obtaining various technological inputs, whether they are communication intercepts or visual evidence of this nature, which your channel seems to have acquired. I'm sure all of this could be packaged in the appropriate way, and it is not as if there is a lack of visual evidence even as far as the case against Pakistan is concerned. After all, we have the experience of Mumbai in November 2008. Different countries have also had the same problem with Pakistan, and case in point is the United States, where whether you talk about bin Laden or you recall the U.S. journalist Daniel Pearl, who'd been assassinated. Now, in each case, absolutely irrefutable evidence, as it were, had been provided to the Pakistani establishment, but that has not in any way, I think, diluted their attempt. So I think we should really collect all this information, the technological information, package it in the appropriate way, and while the tactical compulsion is addressed in the appropriate manner, whether it's by the Indian paramilitary, in this case the BSF, or the Indian Army, whenever there is something across the line of control, these visual images, the communication intercepts, I think these need to be brought into focus even with the global media.
Absolutely.
So that India's story, quote unquote, is also in a way more persuasive than what is currently being, I would say, put across from the Pakistani side. So we have two, if I may use this opportunity, Simi, to say that there is the equivalent of an operational dimension, and there is also what you might call as the perception/narrative, which is normally mediated by television channels such as yours and other global media outlets.
Right. Absolutely. Commodore Uday Bhaskar, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Commodore Bhaskar talking about how India can best use this visual evidence that it has acquired to its advantage. This video is exclusively available with Headlines today. Our correspondent Kamaljeet Sandhu has managed to get this video from her sources. This is a video that is available with the BSF. Pictures on your screens are thermal images of two infiltrators trying to slip inside Indian territory. Kamalji, thanks so much for that story. We're going to keep coming back to you for more.